Peace, happy self-care Sunday, everybody. Fazi here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Resetting, reflecting, and realigning yourself. This is the last Sunday of 2024. I wanted to come to you today with my reflection of this year. And I also want to encourage you all as well. Every day is definitely a gift, and we have to use it as such. Our time, our energy, our presence is valuable. And we have to stop allowing ourselves to waste it with people, places, and things that are unworthy, that are truly unworthy to be able to have an experience with us. We must decide on purpose that we are valuable enough to be able to truly deserve the best and never settle. Never settle. We have to honor ourselves by honoring our peace, and we have to truly value peace. We truly have to value ourselves and know that we deserve peace. We truly deserve peace. It's not something that we should compromise for any relationship, any connection, any of that kind of stuff. We have to value ourselves to be able to know that I deserve to have peace. I deserve to be able to thrive within my authenticity, within my own type of uniqueness, and not compromise myself based on whatever. To be able to thrive through that, to be able to be original, to be able to feel like I don't have to shrink myself or walk on eggshells or think about what it is that I want to do or say before it actually comes out of my mouth verbally. Like, we as a people, we as an entirety, we as a lineage, we must do better. We must do better for ourselves first before we actually able to extend outwardly. And we lack that. We lack the effort. We lack the accountability. We lack creating better ways. And we're just staying stuck and satisfied with the dysfunction that we are living in on a daily basis. And we're making it make sense to our own self that it's okay. And it's not. It's not at all. We must make an effort to do better and improve. Not to just be satisfied with our arrogance or be satisfied with the insecurities that we have and think that that's somebody else's job to be able to take care of those things and not ourselves. And we are not truly being honest with ourselves. We are not doing the things on purpose that are really going to bring productivity or bring peace or bring success or bring solutions to whichever space that you occupy at the moment or whatever your area of focus is. It's a must. At this point, it's a must. It's not something that we should think about or we have this very, this arrogant way that we think about, I don't need to do that because, you do, period. There's no question. There's no question. Do the work. We think that we want to occupy our time and our day with all these obsolete things when there are things to do. When there are things to work on. When there are things to unlearn, to relearn. We waste so much time positioning ourselves in spaces and operating out of fear, doubt, lack, or arrogance, and not really doing the things that we need to do for ourselves. So, in my own personal reflection of this year, what I've learned to continue to cultivate myself. I continue to learn through my personal experiences to value myself, to not sell myself short, to not allow anybody's lack or negativity or delusion to throw me off of my square, but to be able to refocus my focus, realign myself, remind myself to be able to know what direction that I'm going in specifically and keep being proactive in that space and not settling, because I truly deserve the best and I'm not settling for anything less. And this is what we have to do for ourselves. We have to honor ourselves by knowing that, affirming for ourselves that we deserve the best and we're not settling for any less. And, whoever, whatever has an opinion, it's okay. It's okay for them to have an opinion. It's okay for them to be in their feelings. It's okay. But, you truly are deserving to be able to thrive, to be happy, to be peaceful, to not have to, deal with, untruthfulness, deception, delusion. Like, we really need to honor ourselves by whenever it is that we pick up those type of vibes, whenever we pick up that type of energy, when we pick up visibly these things, we have to decide that we are not going to allow ourselves to be subjected to whatever is coming after this. But for us to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is not for me. This is not working out for me. And I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward, period. It's not about these overly explanations, and it's not about that. It's about, what you want specifically and positioning yourself in space and in life to be able to make these meaningful connections. Life is a gift. No time to waste with people, places, and things that are consistently operating very low, that are operating in their delusion, operating in their fears, doubt, lack, worry. But for you to be able to be your vibrant self, for you to continue to keep pouring into yourself that vibrancy, that high energy, that positivity, that productivity, not allow somebody else's lack, not allow somebody else's delusion or whatever it is they got going on with themselves to be put on you, to make you, dumb yourself down to be in that space. I've learned that people will be people. People are unpredictable. Situations will flip and change. People can talk about they're this, they're that, but at the end of the day, it's not what they talk about. It's about what they do. Another thing we have to truly learn and be observant from and with. And we also have to be better listeners. We create this type of self to be able to gain the things that we want, and make somebody feel that, this is for them, but it's really for them, for themselves. We have to decide to protect ourselves, protect our energy, protect our mindset, protect our space, and not be so desperate, not be so anxious, not be so in this space where we want what we want, but we are not protecting ourselves. And it's not rocket science. It's not something that we should keep taking chances on and chipping away at ourselves in the expense of some type of relationship, some type of circle, some type of this, some type of that. But to be able to affirm that you truly are worthy of the best and you're not settling for anything beyond that. You're not settling. Affirm that for yourself. I'm not settling. I deserve the best. And everything that I do is going to be one step towards that. Not for me to consistently, be in this space where I want to be unsure based on somebody else's opinion. People are going to be in their feelings. People are going to have opinions. People are going to say what they say. People are going to think what they think. People are going to want all these overly explanations of a decision that you make based on their lack. Based on the lack of their observation or their accountability for themselves. So, we as a people moving forward, we have to strive towards doing better for ourselves. And we have to know that what we do for ourselves is an indirect reflection of how we're going to also operate outwardly. But if we're being selfish and we're just operating out of our lower desires and we just want to be satisfied and we just want what we want and we've been operating in this dysfunctional way and we think that this is supposed to work for certain people or for certain situations and we keep operating in this kind of way, we're gonna drastically drastically miss out on great things that God positions into our life and into our path, because we're operating out of a selfish place. We're not operating out of a place of substance. We're operating out of a place of desperation. Oh, I've been in this place for so long, for so many years, so it's about my time. But we're not really operating out of a place of longevity, of quality, of authenticity, of empathy, of compassion. We're not operating out of any of these places. We're operating and we're thriving out of our desires. So, in reflection of, this year and, the things that I personally experienced, the things that I've learned from, the things that I'm growing through and I'm growing from, it's all about continuing to affirm your value, to be able to upgrade your perspective visibly, for you to be able to stand on your boundaries and not fold for anyone or anything, but to be able to truly, truly get rooted within setting healthy boundaries for yourself and understanding the importance and the value of that. Not for you to fold or settle because somebody says something in a way where it just kind of like had you hypnotized, but for you to be able to stand firm on your square. Stand firm on your square and stay rooted in that. Because, if somebody really cares for you, they will respect your boundaries. They will not do anything to jeopardize your well-being. They will not say anything that's going to make you feel like less than. So, what we have to do is we have to make a self-evaluation. And, for the last few weeks, I've been in reflection of myself, and I've been in reflection of just the things that I've experienced over the last few weeks. And you know what? It all has been an awakening. It all has been a lesson. It all has been something for me to be able to grow from and through, and really reflect on, what I want to do specifically. Because I know, me personally, I'm a very unique, creative, upbeat, inspirational, positive person. And, some people, they view you as weakness, all that stuff as weak, as a target. And if you're not specifically doing the work on yourself, you can get caught up. And this is what we have to do. We have to continue to keep, keeping God first in everything that we do. We have to continue to be our authentic self. We have to be accountable for our behavior and the things that we do and the things that we have to check our own self on. And, moving forward, to be able to stand 10 toes down on your boundaries. It's not something that you should fold on. We have to really decide that we are going to strive in the obedience of what God says is the right thing to do. Assalamu alaikum, Yasin. Thanks for joining. And for us to be able to operate highly from there. He will move and shift the right things into our path, into our course. But if we consistently are on this wave where we want what we want, A, B, we're not doing the things that are correct. We're not going about things in the correct way. We're trying to find all these different loop and rabbit holes and we're not doing things the right way. And we know that. We know that we're trying to take shortcuts, but we think we're going to have value and longevity in, how we're moving. Do the right thing. Why are we trying to take all these shortcuts? Why are we not being accountable? Thank you, Yasin. I appreciate you. Why are we not being real with our own self? We out here faking the funk. We out here creating these representatives of ourselves instead of stepping to the plate and being our authentic self, flaws and all. We only have one life, but we're out here doing all these different things that are not in alignment with God's obedience. And we think that we're going to get something valuable. We think we're going to have longevity. We think we're going to have success when we're not doing the correct thing. But we've told ourselves over and over and over again that I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I want what I want, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. But it's not in obedience to what God says. But this is what we continuously affirm for ourselves. And this is where we're operating out of. It's not correct. So why do it? Because we're so caught up into what society tells us to do. Oh, you don't got to worry about that. Yeah, that's what we're living by. That's what we're living by. We're living by what society says. We're fitting the societal norm and criteria instead of striving to be able to improve. Instead of striving to be able to do things that are the correct things. We're consistently operating out of the delusion that we have fed ourselves over and over and over again. If you know better, do better. Not allow yourself to give yourself a pass. To say, I'm grown, I know everything, and all of these different type of things that we tell ourselves, we know the truth. But we're operating out of our needs, our wants. We're operating out of our wants. We're operating out of our desires. I just want to be satisfied because I've been here this long and I'm lonely and this way and that way and blah, 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 blah. We have to do better, people. And we have to do better on purpose. And we have to work on self-discipline. And we have to work on emotional intelligence. And we have to work on accountability. Like, all these foundational things are very important to be able to help yourself improve in areas where you think that you don't need improvement in. We have to do better moving forward. And it starts with you. It starts with yourself. Not looking outwardly and talking about all this other obsolete stuff that don't have nothing to do with you, but to be able to help yourself. To be able to stop skipping over yourself. Stop skipping over the fact that you need to work on yourself. Stop skipping the fact that you need to work on building better character. Stop skipping the fact that you need to work on more respect. Stop skipping the fact that, there's some things that need to be really worked on. Decluttered, detoxed, cleansed, released, disconnected. Like it's necessary. And that's another thing. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and we also have to make disconnections. You have to make disconnections, whether you like it or not, in order to be able to grow, evolve, elevate, go through your personal transformation. You have to let go. You have to release. And you have to have faith that something better is going to come into your life. Not for you to consistently keep hanging on to dead weight and keep hanging on to things and then have to tolerate something. Like, really? We have to stop subjecting ourselves to all this nonsense. And we have to strive towards peace. We have to strive towards being more solution-minded versus, just being delusional and dealing with issues. Me specifically, I'm not dealing with nobody's issues. I'm not tolerating nobody's nonsense. Peace is where I want to be. And if you don't bring that, to the left, exit, period. And my self-awareness is very sharp. I pick up on things very quickly. I've been through life, I've been through experiences that have positioned me in spaces to evolve and grow. So those areas I pick up a lot of things quickly. So we have to stop faking the funk. We have to stop faking the funk, stop doing all these things that don't have nothing to do with our productivity or our growth, our goals, our focus. Every single day we go about life with this careless, taken for granted attitude, and we're not really being proactive in it. We're not about self-elevation. We're just about going through the motions like a robot. We're not doing anything for ourselves on a daily basis that is helping ourselves become better. So we can open up ourselves in our life to be able to receive the blessing that God has for us. Or whenever we face certain things in life, we're able to grow through it versus just going through it with this mentality where, this is just what it is. And we just take it for we take it for a situation versus taking it for something that we are learning from and through. But, this year has taught me a lot about myself. And, I'm grateful to be able to have had all the experiences that I had this year. I'm grateful to be able to have made a lot of the changes that I have made in my life this year. Collectively, everything has truly encouraged me, inspired me, contributing to my healing and my wellness, really awaken another avenue of awareness for me, and for me to be able to continue to keep improving me, pouring into me, knowing, my self-worth, knowing my self-value, and never settling, never settling, because, I know what I bring to the table of any space that I occupy. I know that, by the grace of God, that, I leave it better than I found it. And this is what we have to do as a collective. We have to just stop settling into where it is that we came from or what it is that we already know, but to be able to utilize the opportunity that God blesses you with on a daily basis to improve. And it don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how much money you don't have. It don't matter how much credentials you got. It don't matter all the things that we want to bring up to make it seem like, this is a thing that makes me superior than anybody else or any of that kind of stuff. But for us to be able to truly humble ourselves, and for us to be able to strive towards being of service where service is needed, and be of service in an unconditional way, not this petty way. Well, if I help you, you're going to do this for me. But have this mentality where God loves you that much that he positioned you in this space to do the work, do his work. And you get blessings behind it. Have that mentality when it comes to helping anybody, whether it's financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, just sharing a small act of kindness. This is what we have to really tap back into, because, where we are currently today, we don't treat each other like human beings. We don't care for each other like human beings. Well, it ain't about me. Well, that ain't me. We just go about our life. We have the capacity to be able to be of service and to help. But we're too arrogant. But we're too so into ourselves. We don't know what's happening in people's lives, in people's minds. We don't know what's happening, in the background. But we're being arrogant and we're being selfish. And we never know, that could be the one thing that could be the key to help us get to paradise. But we are too selfish to be able to have that type of shift mentally. Peace, Gabriel. Thanks for joining. So we consistently are operating very minimally in the things that we do, through our thought process, through how we think about ourselves, through, how we treat other people, through the situation that we may be, going through or connected with or in, and this is the thing that we consistently keep operating. We keep every day, every week, every month, every year, we keep doing the same thing. And we have this mentality where something should be different because it's a different year, it's a different day, it's a different month, but we're not doing anything different. But we expect, our expectations, are high standard, high level. But we're not of high level. We don't have high standards. We don't have high value. We're not doing any of those things, but that's what we want, and that's what we desire, and that's what we think that we should have. We think that we should have the best when we are arrogant, when we're not respectful, when we're not doing the things to be able to improve ourselves and our character, our mentality. But we think that we deserve the best. We have to humble ourselves, and we have to really work. We have to go from the base foundational things, and we have to stop compromising our values and our morals. And we have to work on growing that. We have to work on cultivating that. We have to unlearn to be able to relearn. And this is not for a specific age group or a specific career bracket or, whatever it is that, society and the internet and social media has brainwashed people to believe. We have to really decide on purpose that we are going to treat people like human beings. We're going to help in a respectful, non-judgmental way. We are going to do things that are going to help ourselves improve the things that we have going on with ourselves that are not so great, and to be able to work on moving forward with that type of mentality. Not for us to consistently have this arrogance and think that we're entitled to the best, but that's not what we're giving. We're not giving the best. We're not giving the best of ourselves. We're just giving the delusional part of ourselves, the part that we want what we want and we demand this and we demand that, but we don't even have respect for our own self. But we think that we are deserving of the best when our attitude is messed up, when we don't have no patience, when we're arrogant, when we are not good listeners, and we can't problem solve. Every statement or advice that something is brought up, it becomes an argument. It becomes a debate. Because in our mind, that's how we have made it. We have made these simple little things to create arguments when it's not. It's something to bring solution. Hey, let's look at things this way. Maybe it will work better this way versus that way. Or see how we can put things on the table to be able to collectively bring things together and see how they can work. But if we consistently are operating out of arrogance, and we are operating out of being controlling, and we're operating out of lack and insecurity, we will not get anything great out of that type of mentality. So, I'm just grateful for the experiences that I've had this year, for the confirmations that I've had this year, for the things that have really awakened my awareness to another level. I'm so grateful to be able to have had these experiences, to be able to help me continue to get rooted, continue to pour value into myself, continue to bring my awareness with clarity, and for me to be able to move with purpose and good intention and not settle for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is what we have to do as a collective. We have to take ownership and accountability, and we have to learn from life. We have to learn from our experiences, and we have to stop settling for less. We have to stop settling in these relationships that are not going anywhere, that are not healthy. We have to stop connecting with these business partnerships that are not proactive, that are not healthy. We have to, really rethink these sisterhood and brotherhood bonds that are not, reciprocating with each other. They're not healthy. They're not positive. Like, we really have to stop compromising ourselves for these type of relationships and think that we're going to miss out on something if we make a disconnection. If we make a disconnection, if we part ways, if we disconnect, it's better for you to do that and go about your way, to be able to work on yourself and improve, versus staying in a space where it is not proactive for you. It's not healthy. It's not doing anything to be able to help you help yourself or give to somebody else in a good way. So we have to work on ourselves to be able to establish our self-worth and our self-value, and not consistently compromising ourselves in spaces where we know that it's no longer valuable here. It's no longer care here. It's no longer empathy here. We have to realize that, we have to recognize that, and we have to make a disconnection, period. And, what you decide that does not work for you, you don't need to give anybody an overly explanation of the reason why you're doing what you're doing. You have decided that this is no longer working for you. This is not in alignment with you, and you are moving forward. You are moving forward with a peaceful mind. We take peace for granted these days because we're so used to operating in this very dysfunctional way. We do not value peace. We do not value authenticity because we're too busy being fake. We're too busy operating out of this avatar that we have created for ourselves because we're used to that type of stuff, instead of really being real and authentic, and knowing that with doing the right thing comes accountability. But we don't want to be accountable. We want to consistently keep operating in this way where we just want to try to control everything. We want to be arrogant. We want to be disrespectful. And we think that being that way, we're going to be able to obtain anything of value, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a goal, whether it's success in whatever area of focus is in. Like, we really have to double back, and we have to evaluate, and we have to ask ourselves, what can I do? How can I deal with things differently? How can I pour into myself to be able to help me in that area that I struggle with, or that area that is not so great? How can I work on building better character for myself? What are some things that I can do to be able to help me improve? But we're too busy chasing illusions. We're too busy chasing things to satisfy our nafs and our desires. We're too busy allowing ourselves to be in spaces where we are consistently shrinking ourselves. We are consistently compromising our values. We are consistently compromising our worth. Because, I've been by myself forever. Or I'm so lonely. Or this or that. We bring all these different type of things in to ourselves and into our mind, and we make it make sense. Because somebody asks us a question, or, this or that, or all these things. And now we become super thirsty and super desperate, and we just settle for anything. And we just chip away in these situations, not upholding our self-worth or our self-value. Because we have gotten so entangled within this thing. So we just lay our values down and we just take whatever. And we think that that's the thing that's really going to help our life grow in any kind of way, shape, or form. We have to stop laying our values down, people. We have to continue to keep upholding self-worth and self-value for ourselves. It is so, so important. We have to stop allowing the enemy to create this delusion within our minds and think that, I just need to breathe a little. I just need to let my hair down. I just need to live a little. But for us to be able to stand firm in doing the right thing, stand firm in moving in obedience, stand firm and really staying locked in and getting tunnel vision in that space. Not to settle because they want to put their stuff on you, because they don't have no discipline, They can't control themselves. They don't have no, discipline for their desires. They don't have no discipline for their hormones. Like, we have to really work on truly and honestly being obedient, because God will bless you. What you need, what you deserve, God will bless you with it. But if we compromise ourselves and we compromise our life doing these sideway things and trying to go through the rabbit hole because we think that's the quicker way in and up, and we trying to rush around and not really think things through, we will be positioning ourselves in a space of our own demise. And we will suffer. We will be we will be the part of our own suffering. So let's not moving forward continue to keep moving in this way. Let's take today to be able to cleanse, detox, declutter our everything. Let's really take time today to be able to make a self-evaluation and physically do the things that we need to do in our immediate space. Our immediate space, and take time within the next few days to be able to do that for yourself. And, people are going to have something to say. People are going to be in their feelings. People are going to want to argue. All of these things. But it's not about them. It's about you. It's about you. It's about your well-being. It's about your quality. It's about your value. It's about you thriving. Not about staying connected to people, places, and things that are toxic, and that are negative, and that just want to use you. But for you to be able to truly, honestly, be honest with yourself and stop living this lie. Stop living this lie. We have to really be real with ourselves and stop living this lie. Stop just having people, places, and things in your life to be placeholders. They don't bring anything. They don't give you anything. They just take. Or they want for their own good. It's not reciprocating. It's only reciprocating on their terms. We have to truly, truly take this time today and within the next few days to be able to detox, declutter, and cleanse our life of the things, people, places, situations that no longer serve us. And we have to be real with ourselves. Not give nobody no pass, none of that stuff. Set your boundaries and stand 10 toes down and get locked in on those things. Because moving forward, if you don't, you will consistently have these same type of situations and experiences over and over and over again. Because you have not learned from the last one. Or you just want to get satisfied quickly. Or you just want to jump through this loophole when it's not the right thing. When you're not going through the right mediums from the start. This is the thing we want to go through these different sideways, and then we want things to work out at the end. Knowing that, having the knowledge that that's not the right way to start anything. But we're still getting entangled within this because we want what we want. And instead of us having self-discipline, instead of us doing things the right way, instead of, paying attention to certain things and not allowing those things that you see, feel, and experience to get away from you and just keep moving forward like it's nothing. That's what happens. We get into this space where we're like in la la land. We keep allowing the indicators to get away from us. And then when we're knee deep in it, then we're lost. We're this, we're hurt, we're that. We have to decide to not get so consumed that we get into that space where our indicators they're not being impressionable on us. So allow, this year, these experiences that you've been through to not just be that, but to allow them to be lessons, to be able to have taught you something that you have learned from, that you have grown from, that you have been able to take something from, and now you're able to apply it to your life to improve. And don't worry about what people going to say. Don't worry about people being in their feelings. Don't worry about people barking at you or, whatever it is. Don't worry about none of that. Decide to do what's best for you and what is in alignment for you and what brings your life peace, what brings your life harmony, what brings your life joy on a daily basis, not for a certain type of timeline or a certain type of occasion, but that is how things are. And granted, things are not going to be all happy and rainbows all the time, but majority of the time, that's what type of experience that you're having. But, this is my self-reflection of 2024 and, striving to continue to keep working on self-improvement. We as a people, we lack this discipline in taking care of ourselves. We lack the discipline in taking care of ourselves and doing the things that are going to really help us become better. We have to stop chasing all these illusions. We have to stop allowing our lower desires and our nafs to be the steering wheel of what we do. And we have to work on self-discipline. And we have to work on operating out of what God instructs us to do that is right. And stop trying to take these shortcuts. We have to stop trying to take the shortcuts. They're not going to lead us anywhere good. We have to truly decide on purpose to be proactive within doing the things that are going to bring goodness to our life, that are going to bring peace to our life. Not for us to think that we're going to live this double life. Oh, I'm going to do it only when I'm in this specific space. And then when I go here, I'm going to be this way. Things don't work like that. We have to decide where we are going to plant our feet, and we have to honor that. We have to honor that space and that way. And we have to work on disciplining ourselves within the things that we struggle with. Not to say I'm this old so I get a pass, or I could do whatever I want to do. Really? So I just wanted to share, my reflection of 2024 and encourage you all moving forward. It's time to get locked in. It's time to stop compromising your values and your morals for anything or anybody. It's time to get locked into improving yourself. It's time to release, let go of the things, people, situations, relationships that are no longer serving you in a positive way. It's time to let go. It's time to make a disconnection. It's time to work on yourself. It's time to work on your healing. It's time to pour into you. Don't worry about people's opinions. Don't worry about if it's going to work or not. Don't worry about any of that kind of stuff. Make a decision on purpose that you truly deserve the best. And every day that God allowed you to experience a new day is an opportunity that you are pouring into yourself and doing what is right, period. And don't compromise that for nothing and no one. And know that God is going to guide you, bless you with clarity, cover you, and help you elevate within yourself presently within that moment that you are striving for. So thank you all for tuning in, joining and watching. I hope everybody has a great day. Detox, disconnect, dissolve, and realign yourself as to where it is that you need to be moving forward. Let's not just move into, God willing, the new year with the old baggage. Let's really get locked in and get serious with ourselves and stop talking about this and that, but we're not actually physically doing anything about what are the things that are contributing to our dysfunction. But to be able to seek out the right resources, to be able to do these things on purpose. So thank you all for tuning in, joining, and watching. I hope everybody has a great day. Shout out to you if you are watching live. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to you if you are watching the replay. Drop replay in the comments and let me know where you're tuning in from. Make sure that you do share this message on your timeline. And God willing, I'll be talking to you a bit later. Have a great one. Peace.